Now, I'm in my garage because I just got back from Thanksgiving traveling. And what I really wanted to talk about was a couple weeks ago, I was at Autodesk University. And now, granted, I talked about the event, things like that, but I really wanted to touch base on something that I always run into when I go to trade shows. So often what happens is you're talking time to market. And that's one of those things that I think engineers know about it, manufacturers know about it, but it's one of those things that no one really gets to the grind of it, right? We all know the value and the cost of a fast time to market versus a slow time to market, but really, what's it all about? My favorite example of the importance of time to market, racing, race cars. Because what happens is you have vehicles that are being used and just beaten to all hell on a weekend, and then they get sometimes a week, sometimes even less. They have a very limited amount of time to revamp those vehicles, sometimes redesign them completely, and then they have to be back out in the field and ready to run again. I mean, if there's anything that exemplifies time to market, it's this. A while ago, I had the opportunity to visit Don Schumacher Racing for Sandvik and talk about what time to market meant and really what tooling and the importance of efficient manufacturing practices means for time to market.
We don't run a extreme high level of parts as far as quantity, but the high level of accuracy is definitely going to be there.
The biggest challenge we face with our parts is definitely timeline, as well as understanding what our customer truly wants as a finished part. Whether it's a highly accurate part or it's a very simple part something such as a bracket. We don't want to over-engineer a right angle bracket. But if it's an engine component, obviously there's a lot of accuracy that needs to be incorporated into it, as well as a lot of new design, lighter, stronger, more dependable, and then also just understanding what a crew chief wants.
There's two large challenges with running these race cars. One is the extreme amount of parts that they use. So we have to be on top of production. So our standard production items, you cannot go to the racetrack without them. So a lot of the products that we're making, there's no room for a delay in time when they're coming out of that shop. But on the flip side of that, the performance advancements that we come up with, like I said, week to week, sometimes we'll have these crazy ideas about we need to develop this, or we want to change this, or this bracket needs to be turned a little bit, or whatever it may be. And if we think that that's going to help turn the wind lights on at the next race, we have to have that product immediately.
Typically, when you schedule a job, you don't change the way you do it, but we change constantly.
The car is only as strong as its weakest link, so we're constantly pushing that weak link around. We fix one item, it moves the loads elsewhere, so then you're working on the next item. And we had some Sandvik reps come in, and right off the bat they say, "Hey, man, we can work on this. We can speed this up." And it, from what I've seen, they get the machines rocking and rolling over there. It's pretty amazing.
We're able to take a part, a week before a race weekend and go from a napkin sketch and go to a machine and have it either on the truck leaving for the track or have it shipped to the track and you can use it.
I would say, most of the part-driven stuff comes from failure modes, so as soon as the dang thing, blows up and has this catastrophic event, we have to go back and decipher what started all that and find the root cause, and that's what keeps you up at night, trying to figure out what we can do to make it safer, make it quicker, and And luckily, we've got a great facility here that we can lean on everybody for further product development.
Our capabilities here and having resources here with for Don Schumacher, we help the race teams with all of their machining applications, which they have many out there. As an example, this blower snout right here, this part used to take over 5 hours to manufacture. With the help of our process engineers and then re-looking at how the whole operation is done, we actually have it down to less than 30 minutes.
They're definitely it's a partnership. They're in our building all the time, and it's great to see a lot of the engineers that they bring through the shop and showing what we do. We think it's amazing what they do. It's I think it's a great partnership. It's really amazing. And there's been items, for instance, our connecting rods. We were able to double production of our connecting rods with a lot of their help. I just think how they push their tooling, how we push our race cars, and it's just such a great mesh of companies, in my opinion.
That's it. So if you like what you've seen, hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, click on the links below, let me know what you think, because there is plenty of more race cars, chips, and just general manufacturing to come.